Let's
So
go.
we've
Oh, there you
we've
go.
we've got the winner. Poof, brother, how are you doing?
I'm so good, Johnny. How's it going, man? Happy birthday. I'm,
I
just being here, it feels like a Friday. I know it's Monday, but your energy. I got to give you a shout out, Shawnee. I love kind of everything that you're doing. I love, the effort. I love your vision. I love how you're not scared to be who you are in front of everyone on YouTube as well, and just not that it's a bad thing to be who you are, but some people, it gets anxiety and a lot of personal feelings that come with being on YouTube and being online. And you absolutely crush it with this energy that not a lot of people bring. It's unmatched. Um,
I agree.
yeah,
Yep,
you're the man,
100%.
and I haven't had the chance to tell you this yet, but I
You
wanted to
clap
give
for
you.
me.
Yeah, I wanted to give you your flowers, and you're on point with brand too. Like you always have the red hat, you always have the white T-shirt. Like I feel like if you weren't wearing those things, I'd still know who you are, but it'd be missing that Seany Poo touch, that
The
really just
brand.
adds that to that
Mm.
energy. You're
Yeah.
honestly the man. I wouldn't miss this if I needed to be here because I needed to give you your flowers and tell you happy birthday. And thank you for being a part of our community. Not just cryptoys, but like the digital space because you bring so much light to a space that needs it.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I really do.
100%.
Yeah,
And
right
Well
on.
said. Well
you know
said, Pooh.
what? I wanted to wait for the origin story of Seany Poo. Do you guys want me to just go ahead and dish it out right now, and then we can get to cryptoids? It's up to you guys. What do you
Sure,
guys
let's
think?
Yeah, I've been waiting.
For
whatever
sure.
you want to do. It's your birthday.
It's your
You have the
birthday,
Yeah, right.
man. Yep.
Sean,
Yeah.
are you gonna make me tear up, Sean?
No,
Because
no,
that
no.
usually what happens
There's
with
no.
you.
I'm
Because
gonna have to
you're
stop my
pretty good at
camera.
it.
I'm gonna stop my camera.
Wait.
There's no crying. Seany Poo's
Okay,
not
go
gonna
ahead.
No crying
cry.
on
That's it.
the.
I
I'll
promise
listen.
I'm not gonna
I'll,
cry.
I'll listen to the origin story, and then I've got to jump off soon, guys. It's coming up
Oh.
on 1:30 Tuesday morning here in the UK. So I got
Wait.
I will.
I have to get some sleep.
I'll
You might as
definitely.
well just stay up, Osman.
Dean,
Kidding.
No, I
I'm just
should.
kidding.
I should, shouldn't I?
I'm just kidding.
All right, I'm
Or
gonna
am
try
I?
I'll try to get through this real quick.
That's all good, man. All
Osman,
good.
dude, you are a trooper. Thank you so much for coming on. It is very late for him. Let me get through this story.
That's all good,
and
man. We wouldn't miss it for anything.
I appreciate it. Here we go, guys. So, all right, the Seany Poo story. So, Seany Poo's journey begins at an unexpected place, Comic-Con restroom. It's the day my
Okay.
first major art panel for kids. And I'm battling with a nervous stomach, overwhelmed by the impending presentation. And all I can wonder is, what the freak did I get myself into? But if you want to know what happens next, I'll tell you. What not well, we'll get to what happens next, but before that, I'm going to take you all a little further back now. So, I earned the nickname Seany Poo from my dad. He affectionately called me his little Seany Poo. Yes. And at that time, I was consumed by my love for drawing, particularly my favorite superheroes like Spider-Man. Drawing wasn't always encouraged. In fact, especially at school. I don't know how any other creators go through this, but when I went to school, I had a hard time concentrating. I had a hard time getting my work done. I was just drawing most of the time, and I even faced the heartbreak of having one of my favorite art pieces torn up right in front of me by my third grade teacher. She was so upset with me. And you know what? I know that's tough for like a kid to experience, but now being older, it's a time and place kind of thing. And although this experience inevitably made me hesitant to pick up a pencil for almost like a whole year. However, my passion for comics and character design never stopped. In fact, a friend and I created a comic strip in school. we made copies with the school copier, and we passed them around all to the students. Kind of like George Beard and Harold Hutchins from Captain Underpants. Only they got paid. We weren't really thinking too wise. But anyways, through the years, I continued collecting comics, drawing, even taking on commissions. And eventually, I joined the local Comic Con scene, and I learned that I truly enjoyed creating and selling art. It was the first time that I sold art. It was a magical experience because I really didn't want to get up and do it. Well, 1 year of a pivotal moment prompted me to rethink this whole approach, because I was like doing fan art. You guys know how fan art is. At Comic Cons, everybody is drawn to fan art. If you're just doing your whole independent stuff, it's kind of going to get washed out in the end, and no one's really going to pay attention. So, Seany Poo's eyes, I got to keep on doing this fan art, man. This is like cool. But I decided to craft this 6-foot banner, because I wanted to get attention at these events. You have these prints of banners going up, and it just brings in all this attention. I wanted a 6-foot banner so I can roll up, roll down, and take it to these events. Now, this banner featured my favorite Spider-Man artwork. I loved it. I had to put it on there. I put my name on there. Sean Slaughter, yeah. And it was colored by the talented Sanju. I'm going to mess up his name. Let me see if I could put this in the comments. Can you guys let me know if this shows up in the comments, guys?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's
Sanju?
Sanju.
Sanju?
Yep, Sanju. He was the colorist that I hired. Amazing. He has done work for, oh shoot, what are they called? Oh, Grim Fairy Tales. I forgot what that comic book. Oh, company. Shoot. Who cares? We move on. Anyway, he's done work for them. He's done work for a lot of comic book companies, including Coffin Comics, the dude that does the lady that's all white and she's all Death? Lady Death. There you go. He's done stuff for him as
Okay,
well.
righto.
So, the day the banner arrived, I couldn't contain my excitement. I was like, oh, and eagerly shared the news with everyone that I worked with, including my boss, who expressed interest that he wanted to see it. So, as I set up the banner, I basked in the positive feedback from all my colleagues. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Yeah, go, Sean. Then I looked at my boss, and that's when he dropped a bombshell. I don't have a bombshell.
Close enough.
Boom.
But before I continue with the story, this isn't a knock on people that do fan art. This is not. This is Seany Poo's experience. And so what I'm going to say is it's towards me. It's not towards any other artist that does fan art. So here we go. My boss certainly praised the talent in the banner. He did. But he also revealed he was disappointed. Like,
So what?
yeah, I was like, what? And he shared with me that he wished that the banner featured a character of my own creation.
Ooh.
I know. I was like, and this comment hit me like a ton of bricks because, truth be told, I didn't have my own original storyline or characters at that time. I was working on stuff, but I didn't. And truth be told, I was inspired by the independent creators. So rather than letting this criticism keep me down, I chose to see it as a challenge. I looked up to my boss. He was a great guy. He reminds me of an uncle. And so when he said that, man, I was so deflated, but I mean, I wanted better. So I admired independent creators with their own unique characters and worlds and found inspiration in that. And I continued attending shows, all while working and developing my characters and stories. And there was always this idea I had floating around in my cranium about a boy and a robot. It was like, even when I was a kid, there was always this story about a boy and a robot. So during this journey, I decided to brand myself, drawing inspiration from 2 sources. In fact, let me copy this link. No, don't open it. What are you doing? Sorry, guys.
Not that button.
Sorry. So let me paste this. The first was this local artist that I just shared. His name's Benjamin Glendenning. In fact, he's also on Insta. Hang on, copy. Let me share that as well. I feel bad.
Benjamin Glendenning. Okay.
So he was always sporting a distinctive mohawk. Every time I saw Benjamin Glendenning, he would always have this mohawk. And he was branding himself as the mohawk artist. I remember asking him, like, dude, what's up with the mohawk, man? Like, I just don't get it. And he said, well, it's because that's how people know me as. And, you know, whenever people see me, they're like, oh, the mohawk artist. And I was like, ah. Now, the second was Steve Jobs. It sounds so weird. My brother told me to listen to the audio, the biography on Steve Jobs. And that's where I found out he wore pretty much the same outfit every day.
Yeah,
The turtleneck, the black turtleneck, the jeans, and the sneakers. When I realized that, I was like, what? And I started looking back, and sure enough, it's like, oh yeah, turtleneck. And I realized he created a strong personal brand with himself. So what I did was this. I took a page from their playbook. I developed the Seany Poo look, red Chuck Taylor sneakers, blue jeans, a white t-shirt with a black tie, and a red hat. This helped me stand out and build my brand, even if I wasn't exactly sure where I was going with it. But 1 year later, at a Comic-Con, I continued my journey searching for my main character's design, and a fateful visit to the restroom at a local Comic-Con, I found my inspiration there. I went into this restroom, and it was disgusting. It was so disgusting. Oh my gosh. It was so, like, hang on. It was foul. It was disgusting. I'm not gonna say exactly what I saw, but it was disgusting. I went back to my table.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
We don't want to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I went back to my table and I decided, okay, I'm gonna start sketching. So I didn't know what to sketch. I was having like a slow event where not too many people were coming, and so I decided I'm gonna start sketching something. What am I gonna draw? Well, I just had this weird experience in the bathroom. I'll draw that. And then I was like, well, I'll draw myself. So I ended up drawing myself, and I don't know if you guys can make this bigger.
There you go.
That's
Yeah, cool.
That's
really cool. I like it.
So that's what I ended up drawing, and after I had it, I was like, I think I found my character. And that pretty much became my main character, Seany Poo. I was like, that's my main character. And around this time, I web comics were huge. They had gained a lot of popularity, leading me to create pretty much a web comic featuring Seany Poo and his lovable sidekick, Fuji the robot.
Hey.
So it started as a web comic. I put it out. I was having some fun, but I was troubled. Making my stories into web comics was feeling less and less like the direction I wanted to go. And I started to become discouraged and kind of like, down. Then, one day, opportunity came knocking on the door. I wish I had a knock. There you go. When a good friend of mine, in fact, where's his? I don't have his links. I'm going to have to wait. I don't have his links on me. But my friend Janimal reached out to me and said, hey, there's this new event coming. Are you going to go to it? And I said, no, it's brand new. It's its first year event. I can't do it. And he's like, but it's like connected with these kids Comic-Con, man. We should probably do it. And so we end up submitting our stuff because what it was Alexander Simmons. He is connected with Kids Comic-Con from New York. What he did was he connected with Ace Comic-Con, who was coming out to Glendale, Arizona, and Ace Comic-Con was giving Alexander Simmons, Kids Comic-Con, this big whole chunk of an area at the convention where it would be family friendly. None of the stuff that kids shouldn't be witnessing or seeing isn't going to be around. This is all for families. And it blew my mind. So I was like, let's do it. So we both submitted our portfolios. Later, we were pretty much, we got signed up. Alexander brought us on. He vetted it, or went through our backgrounds, checked us, and he granted us each a free 6-foot table. The catch was, hang on. The catch was, we had to deliver 45-minute art presentations for these kids each day of the event. And it was a 3-day event. Yeah. And I didn't really include this, but my goal was to get a free table. That was always my goal. But I also had a fear, and my fear was not drawing in front of anybody. I was a closet artist. I took my art as, this is very personal. I don't want anyone seeing it, but dread washed over me. I was reluctant because I didn't like to draw in front of anyone. In fact, my local Comic-Con had been asking me for over 10 years, will you come do classes? Will you do panels? Come on. And I always would say no. However, after much fretting and pacing, I decided to accept the opportunity, and I hoped it would all work out in the end. But it wasn't. On the event's first day, I was so nervous that I triggered my autoimmune condition. And I was constantly running back and forth to the restroom. And I was a mess, and I was not close to even being ready. And I think at that time I had 15 minutes before I needed to go on, and here I was.
My goodness.
A mess.
Oh, jeez.
So that's when Alexander Simmons stepped in, refusing to let Seany Poo back out. Alexander encouraged me by reminding me that there was more to me than I realized. He reminded me that I would never reach my full potential without taking a leap of faith. His words shifted my perspective. Instead of aiming for perfection, because that's how I was. I wanted every word written out. I wanted every, punchline, presented, I wanted to be perfect, and I knew I wasn't. So instead of aiming for perfection, I decided to have fun, make the kids laugh, and put a focus on ensuring they felt valued. I may have not been flawless. You know, I wasn't. I flubbed like you wouldn't believe. But I succeeded. I succeeded in connecting with the kids and their parents, showing them how to draw, and, of course, injecting humor into the process. I was in awe to finish and actually have. Guys, at this time, I was an office manager at a shutter company. This art stuff was the side thing. So here I was presenting. And believe me, as soon as I was done, I was running off of the stage and I wanted to get away from everyone. And it blew my mind that I had like 3 or 4 families asking me, hey, where can we sign up our kids to take your art classes? Where's your art studio? What are you guys talking about? I'm an office manager.
So not anymore.
Yeah. But what happened at this event forever, and I mean forever, changed my life. And it was for a good reason. In fact, I left a little bit out of the story. I did. What I left out was that I, Seany Poo, I really didn't believe in myself. Growing up, I didn't have a healthy self-esteem. There were times I got picked on for my family's poor financial situation. There was times where we couldn't buy me new shoes. And it's one of the funny stories that I tell the kids in art classes. They get a good kick out of it, but it did impact me when we couldn't get shoes, and my dad ended up taking my sister's shoes that she could not fit no more, but they were real good condition shoes, but they were pink. So my dad took a black marker and marked out all the pink, and eventually the pink rubbed off and people saw, but I definitely got picked on for all that. The bullying only became worse when I got the bullying only became worse when I was in 4th grade, and I was practicing baseball, and the first base player decided to throw it over to where I was, and he was throwing the ball like he was pitching. And at that time, the sun was right in my vision, and the ball hit me right square in the face, and it chipped my tooth. Long story short, I got picked on. You guys see, I got picked on. And sometimes I was picked on a lot. I won't lie, I did let that stuff drag me down, but through it all, I learned something. Do you know who my biggest bully was, guys?
Yourself.
I was supposed to say you.
Yep.
Steph, you got it right. It was Seany Poo. I was so mean to myself simply for not being perfect. Through most of my life, I was tearing myself down, telling myself I couldn't do certain things and that I would never be good enough or amount to anything. This carried on through all my life and even to adult life. But the Kids Comic-Con event marked a turning point for not only my art career, but for my attitude and my outlook on life and on myself. It helped me to understand the impact my art had on people. For a while there, I was like, at that event, guys, I was like, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And it was seeing the people's reaction to my art when I realized my art does something to people. And what I notice, it makes people smile, it makes people laugh, It makes people giggle, and that's what my art is here for. It's to bring positivity and to try to bring happiness. Um, 1 second, guys. I do apologize.
You're doing great, Shawnee.
But pretty much, this event helped me to understand the impact my art had on people, and it inspired me to turn Seany Poo and Fuji into the children's book. There was so much at this event that like opened up for me. But more importantly, it helped me to face my fears, to find the unopened doors that are in my head, and to open them to find out what's behind them. What Alexander Simmons and Kids Comic Con helped me to see is that there is more in me, but it's up to me to find it and to bring it out and share it with the rest of the world. That's why I'm really trying to get this book done. I'm truly oops, I just clicked on something, guys. I truly want to get in front of kids and share with them that they too have something inside them, and encourage them to find it and share it with the world. And that's the Seany Poo story.
Good story, man.
All right, let's go.
Awesome story, Seany Poo.
Yeah, man. And I
Yeah.
know you're not feeling well, so we appreciate you muddling through, telling us the story while you're not feeling well. But really inspirational story, Sean.
Yeah, it's bottom line is I didn't really believe in myself, and I'm telling you, it was Alexander Simmons and Kids Comic Con that helped open up the doors for me. At that event, there was so much clarity, and it was all due to Alexander Simmons. In fact, let me try to find his link so I can share it with you guys. Here you go. Copy link. Alexander Simmons, there's some people out there that you'd give up your life for. He's one of them. I would kiss his feet because he did so much for me, because I really did not think I can get up in front of people. I didn't want to get up in front of people, and I did, and I faced the fear, and a lot of good came from it. And all I want to do is I want to get this book done. I want to get in front of kids, do school assemblies where I can tell them, hey, my name's Seany Poo. How you guys doing? Oh, I made a book, and this is what it is, and this is what it's about. It's about bullying, and just talk to them about how I came up with the story. Why did I come up with the story? How did I even go about creating and manufacturing and building upon this book? And what I would like to end off with the presentations is I just want to pump them up, let them know, hey, there's something in all of us. There is. And it's up to us to dig into it and figure it out what it is. And it's not just it. Once you find it, you got to protect it. You got to grow it, because it's just like a muscle. Our talents are just like our muscles. We got to work our muscles out each and every day, because my mom always said it. If you don't use it, you'll lose it.
True that.
That's it. I just want to get in front of kids, and I would like kids to be light years ahead of Seany Poo instead of being 30 years old and being like, oh, I know what I want to do. So there you go. I'm sorry that took so long. That was a bit much, but
Good story, man. It's all good, mate.
We get it.
Fantastic story.
Yeah, man.
But I'm unfortunately on that note, I'm gonna have to bail out now. Sorry, guys, but I did want to stick around for the story, and yeah, mate, what an inspiration. And you're right. Like, you know, we all got that special something inside of all of us, and we just got to dig deep to find it, nurture it, and watch it grow.
Very true.
Cool.
Thank
Good
you,
seeing
Thank
you,
you,
Osmond.
Osmond.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Osmond.
Get
So
some
much.
Take
sleep.
care, guys.
Take care,
Perez.
Perez.
Have a good morning.
Yeah.
What's all
Right.
Yeah.
Good sleep.
Have a good sleep.
Osmond.
Don't get in trouble.
Um,
Too late.
I cannot remember. Did we pick the 5:30 winner?
Yeah, was
So
that
we-
Bruin 88?
Yeah, we picked. No, it was Alejandro.
Oh, no.
Alejandro.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my
Um,
question is this: did I go too long? Like, or I don't know. Did we pick somebody at the? Hang on, we picked 3.
Yeah,
No,
we
we
had.
did it right.
yeah,
Yeah,
we,
We had
Three
somebody at
winners so far.
7.
Shawnee's
Alejandro
just
said it,
being
yeah.
funny. On my
it's all good, man.
So good, man. We're going with the flow.
Anyways, let's now that I gave the Seany Poo origin, let's focus on cryptoids.
How are we supposed to follow up with that?
Yeah, I mean,
It takes a lot of vulnerability to tell that story, Shawnee, and it's
Yeah.
like it's super. That was awesome. Like people being vulnerable, it just like that takes so much courage, even to like admit that you're bullied and picked on. Like that, yeah. So just like hats off to you. That was
Steph,
awesome.
The most difficult thing was the chip 2 thing. The chip 2 thing, I got raked
Yeah.
over the coals. But I mean, it made me who I am today. I'm not a bad individual. I'm not going out hurting people. I know
Yeah.
who I am, and I know where my legs stand. And I want to make the world a little bit brighter, just like what Cryptoids is doing.
That was a good lead up. That was
That was
nicely
good.
done. Yeah,
Well
nicely
played.
done.